All right, son, we gonna go there. I was reviewing this knife today, and about halfway through it, this is the Pocket Monster by Rosecraft Blades. This is what they call the Mike because of the green handle scales from the movie Monsters. Mike was green in the movie, and they've been wanting to do this, and they just got a release of them. So they sent me one. Rosecraft sent me this blade for review. So I get about halfway through this review today after doing this right here. Now, that sandblast hose, reinforced sandblast hose, I just scored it all the way around, and I scored it just to see what it would do. A lot of times with me, I'm just experimenting. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why there's not a damn thing we do scientific on this channel. Nothing. A lot of it's experimentation and trial and error. But halfway through it, I thought, man, I love this knife because here's the truth. The first Rosecraft blades I ever bought, I ever saw work, was a red Pocket Monster on Big Red EDC. Swags designed it. I thought, I'm buying it. I bought it. I did a review on it. The rest is history. I'll put that review in the description. But halfway through this video, I thought, man, people are missing out on this knife. And I want y'all to understand, I'm not trying to say it, buy it, don't buy it, I don't give a shit. But the question, I look down at the side, and on the side of it, it's where Swag signed it. It's got her little signature there. And the thought ran through my mind, I wonder how many people sleep on a knife because it's designed by a woman. And not, listen to me. I'm not talking about anybody being chauvinistic. I'm not talking about you having ill will towards women. I'm not. And please don't put that shit in the comments. Listen to what I'm saying. But I wonder how many guys go, well, she's just not going to know my needs. I'm just not going to try it. I don't like the billboarding. Now listen to me. Listen to me. If you don't like the design, you don't like the design. That's not what I'm saying. Listen to the question. Would you buy a knife that was designed by a woman that you would use? My answer is absolutely, and here's why. Here's why. Because Swags understands making or designing a knife for the working class because she works. So the way I want you to approach this is this, and I want you to put thought in it before you just answer. If the design was right, if you looked at a knife and you thought, I like that knife, would you buy it? And then you found out, well, just say Swags. Swags designed it. Would you buy it? Or would you think, you know what? That's a girl's knife. Answer it honestly. Again, not being confrontational. I want to know. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to address the build of this knife. I want to go over the strong points. I want to do all that. But before I do that, let me say this. Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors. This is the Rosecraft Pocket Monster. It has green G10 handle scales. Loving it. It's made out of RPM 9 steel. Personally, I like RPM 9. It always comes super sharp. It's easy to maintain. It's easy to sharpen back up when you need to. And I made a goal before I ever thought anything. I'm going to use this knife today until it's dull. Now, I use a Pocket Monster at work 2 to 3 times a week. I put it in my right back pocket where I can access it easily. Now, here's the deal. A lot of times when I do knives at work, we're showing the toughness of the knife. I want y'all to understand something. This reinforced sandblast hose is some tough shit. Would I normally use my Pocket Monster to cut it? No. I keep that Pocket Monster in my back pocket for zip ties, for boxes. If I've got to strip a wire, if I've got to put a pigtail on something, if I've got to open something quickly, I grab my Pocket Monster. The reason I'm using the industrial strength materials today is to show you not only how this thing hits above its weight, but how easy it is to use. That's kind of the crux of the matter. Because I'm sitting here looking at it and I'm for me, for me, it is an awesome work knife. Now you can see I'm shoving down there. That's reinforced sandblast hose. The knife holds up. The thing that makes this knife great to me is two things. The pommel of the knife, and I know that's probably not the proper term, but the pommel of the knife, it's almost a big Barlow style. So I can really lock up. I can really cinch in. And when I'm in a fencing grip, that working choil that's big enough for a grown man's hands that I love. Now, it's a smaller blade. We've got a 2 3/4 inch blade. It comes razor sharp, RPM 9. The overall length of this knife is 6.6 inches. The blade length's 2 3/4, like I said. The handle length, or when the knife's closed, is 3.85 inches. It has blue anodized pivot collars. Now, and it also has blue anodized thumb studs. I love the action on this knife. I can open it easily one-handed, close it easily one-handed. I set a goal, guys, to dull up this knife before I narrated this review. I promise you I did that. That sandblast hose, this industrial strength, this is dead man hose right here. But watch right here. We're gonna slice right down the middle. The next thing we're fixing to do is this. Just kind of meant to show the control of the knife. Now we're going to go in through the top. The edge is going to ride right down the middle. But I want you to look. So we're in there good. Now look at the way my hands are. It's easy to manipulate. It's easy to control. The knife is a deep carry pocket clip and ambidextrous. Good jimping on the back. The thing I like though is the transitions. I can maneuver this thing easily. It transitions easily from cutting position to cutting position. The tip is super sharp. I can go with this grip. I can go with an old man pinch grip. I can do a lot of things with this knife that I can't other knives. And listen, I would say that the Pocket Monster is job specific. Think about what you could use it for. And again, guys, I'm not the QVC. But when there's a knife that I get excited about, that I use a lot, that I use quite often, that I use a ton and I rely on, I want to at least give you the opportunity to see it work. Now, I'm going to put the original video of the Pocket Monster in the description. I want you to check it out. And then also talk a little bit about how I feel about Swags and why I feel that way and why I have such respect for her. But again, I even have to ask myself, is this a knife that I would have bought if I didn't know who she was? And then I have to look at it and go, you know what? The handle style speaks to me. The choil speaks to me. And I think what I've learned as I've gone in this knife journey is this. If you like a knife, it don't make a shit who designed it. It doesn't matter. If it works for you, if you see a knife and you go, I can use that. Look, right here. This is my favorite thing in the world to do. Shaving wood. This knife is excellent at it. Right here, the old man pinch grip. Very, very comfortable in hand. Very sharp. But if you see a knife and you like it, don't let something like that hinder you. We live in a day and age, and I'm going to go back to it. Swags understands making a knife for the working person. The More My Leah. Love it. I love her designs because I can use them at work. I don't have to make up some kind of bullshit video to show you. Not that I do that anyway. I wouldn't. I can do my normal stuff with this knife, and it works. It works great. Now, when I'm done, I'm going to sharpen it back up. I did, honestly, guys, I had 35 minutes worth of footage. And I trimmed it down. I took all the best clips out, took all the worst clips. And I told y'all I did that the other day. I do that a lot to give you the average, but to give you a realistic look at a knife. This knife right here, quick pull. Here's the things that I love about it. It's easy open, easy close. I love the working choil. I love the handle. It locks up very well. It rides well in pocket. I am a huge fan. Again, put in the comments. And then ask yourself, have I slept on a knife? Because I wasn't sure about the designer. Now, guys, I spent an hour and a half sitting here just whittling up fat wood. That will wear a blade out. Not only the edge, but all that tar on it. And you're going to see in a minute. we're coming to the end, but before we do, guys, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. The actual numbers between 15 and 29. That's why here on this channel, we focus on the number 0. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. You have a place here. I back to blue. It's a personal choice. I don't ask anybody else to do it, but I do it proudly. How do you do it, Scabber? Well, I don't break the damn law. I also don't argue with people over it. I have my reasons. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. Well, would you buy it? Would you not? I know my answer. I'm Scab, you're not, and I'm gone, son.